Hello everyone, myself Dr. Hetal Mehta. I'm an MD homeopath. Presently, I'm practicing in the name of Holistic Homeopathy Clinic, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. I have a clinical experience of more than 10 years and also I'm an associate professor in the Department of Homeopathic Materia Medica at Gandhinagar Homeopathic Medical College, Mubarakpur, Gandhinagar. I have a teaching experience of more than 6 years. Today, I want to talk about a remedy. The name of the remedy is Arsenicum album. I want to talk about the inner traits of this remedy. This remedy has been uh, very much prescribed in the current pandemic situation. Okay, and what in this video, I'm not going to talk about the generals or the particulars or this is been taught in the homeopathic colleges everywhere it has been taught, but in this video I want to make you understand what is the inner traits, what are the inner patterns of this remedy. Okay, so first of all, Arsenicum album, as you all know, this remedy is for a lot of anxiety, lot of restlessness, and this has aggravated by cold, aggravated at midnight. Okay. Also, they have thirst for sips of water. Then they have periodicity. Okay, alternating of symptoms, ulceration, burning pains everywhere. So this is the generals, the particulars which you all know. Okay, my main aim of making this video is to know what is Arsenicum album, its inner traits, its inner patterns, how it is evolved mentally. Okay, so first, the most deeper feeling of this remedy is insecurity. They carry lot of insecurity. This is the most deeper feeling in Arsenicum album. Now, this insecurity is they feel vulnerable and defenseless in matters relating to death and disease. Okay, so the insecurities are related to death, they are related to diseases, and this insecurity is not for professional life or for social life. This insecurity is mainly of the death and the disease. Now, from this insecurity arises many problems of Arsenicum album. So, many problems are arising because of the first thing, that is insecurity. They become dependent, they're always dependent on others, and they always want company. This is out of insecurity only. So, you have the rubric desires for company. Now, this desire for company is not for interaction and they love people. No, this desire for company is more for reassurance and support. They want support, okay, for their disease or when they are dying, they want support. So, this desire for company is for reassurance and for support. If you take phosphorus as a remedy, is a desire for company, they want company for interacting with people. Okay, now comes the next important thing is the possessiveness. Okay, the possessiveness of this remedy. This remedy is possessive for objects, for money, for relation, for people, husband, wife. Okay, very, very possessive. And because of this possessive nature, the next feature or next trait of this remedy is selfish. It is one of the selfish remedy of our materia medica. Okay, they expect receiving support in return, so they support other people. So they will help other people, they will support other people so that other people support them. Okay, so this is the expectation, this is the selfish need which Arsenical album has carried. Okay, now this possessive nature is also seen in the physical generals of this remedy. Now, Arsenicum album per se has a very offensive, cadaverous odor, bad discharges, but these discharges are scanty. And so this is the possessiveness. And if this discharges becomes profuse, okay, they feel better. Okay. Also, Arsenicum album has a compulsive collecting nature and he will store everything where he could find later. So he has a very compulsive collecting nature. Okay, always collecting things. So he does not want to throw anything. He feels that he has enough of everything because of this avarice nature. So Arsenicum album is very avarice. Okay, very avarice. So they will always store things, always store things. Also, he will give money, he will give support to other people only to get that money written or the support written. Okay, so that is the selfish nature which I already talked. They have a lot of expectations. They want to support because they want to receive support. They want to give money because they want to expect money written from the other person. Okay, and if they do not receive that support, if they do not receive that help in back, it upsets them. Okay, so it upsets the Arsenicum album patient. Okay, so if anything happens to his so-called possessiveness or things that he has stored, he might get ill and gets alarmed and anxious. So if anything happens to his all things, now what he has stored or what possessions he has, if anything happens to that, he get very ill and he get very alarmed and anxious. So this is seen in Arsenicum album. Very possessive about his things, about his uh, all the possessions which he has kept and stored with him. Okay, also he has that tendency to enjoy life but restricted by some extent and specificity of his desires. He will enjoy life, he wants to enjoy life, but it is very specific to his desires. Okay, he's very choosy. Arsenicum album patient is very choosy and specific for his desire to satisfy his insecurities. Okay, so his desires are also very specific, and the desire is to satisfy his insecurities. So if a person plans a diet for his healthy living being, so he will meticulously follow that diet. Okay, if a woman wants to marry, okay, if an arsenic woman wants to marry, he is very particular about his choice. The person should be very neat and clean. He should have a secure job, so the person in future could give her the secure and comfortable life. Okay, so that is the thinking process in Arsenicum album patient. Okay, and I have already mentioned very selfish people. They first think of themselves and then the others. If something happens to someone else, Arsenic will think first of what it means to himself. Okay, like for example, if we differentiate with phosphorus, okay, what phosphorus does, if someone is in the problem, phosphorus will feel the problem of others. अरे क्या हो रहा है? What is the solution? The phosphorus person will try to find out. But Arsenicum album will think that what will happen if I'll be there in his place. Okay, so that is वो अपना ही सोचेगा. He'll think of himself only. Okay, if an arsenic person sees an accident, he will fear to go to the site of the accidents and to see the blood and bad situation, not able to see. And phosphorus is very sympathetic. Okay, and he is very sympathetic, and he will keep himself in place of other person, but not arsenic. Arsenic will not keep himself in place of other person. If someone is in bad situation, arsenic will think कि ऐसा तो मेरे साथ भी हो सकता है, and this that very selfish. And phosphorus, अरे इसके साथ ऐसा हुआ, अभी हम लोग उसको help करना चाहिए. So that is the thinking of arsenic and phosphorus. Other remedies in selfish are like sulfur, meadow, platina, but all of these remedies have ego. But Arsenicum album has lot of fears and they have lot of insecurities, okay, and they have a lot of needs. So this is the difference. The next trait of Arsenicum album is the fastidiousness. Now, fastidiousness is a good trait. No? It is a very good trait. Okay, but if it is excessive, something is excessive, that has to be treated. Okay, but fastidiousness as a per se is a very good sign. It's a very good symptom. So if a person is staying neat and clean, it's good. But if it is too much, it becomes an obsession and it becomes a compulsion, then it has to be treated. And if in fastidiousness, a person spends a lot of energy in cleaning and straightening all these things, okay, in cleaning the things, in keeping the things in proper place, then it has to be treated because he is always spending his energy on this. Okay. Arsenicum album has lot of inner anxieties and insecurities that I have already talked. Lot of anxieties, lot of insecurities, and because of that, to satisfy these anxieties and insecurities, he will try to clean and keep the everything in order of the external world. So he's satisfying his inner insecurities, inner anxieties by cleaning the external world. I hope you're understanding. So this is the fastidiousness. Now, Nux vomica as a remedy is also a fastidious remedy, but they are very workaholic. Okay, this is because they want to work. And natrum mute fastidiousness is more because they want to schedule their time. Okay, they want to schedule their timing. Now, arsenic is insecure, they need support, but Nux vomica as a remedy is very, very self reliant and it is very, very impulsive remedy. Arsenic always requires support, not Nux vomica. Nux vomica is very self dependent remedy. Later stage, arsenic have a lot of anxiety of health, fear of death, fear of being alone, okay, which can last throughout day and night. They always need company, okay, especially at night. So first, the company used to be only in the morning. That is, Sina. They have anxiety, especially in the morning, and they want company. But then in the later stages, the company is for the entire day and especially at night. They want someone around them. Always need company, which is especially at night. Now, finally, this anxiety in Arsenicum album leads to lot of restlessness in the person. The restlessness is more mental restlessness, lot of mental restlessness. Why the person becomes restless? Because he wants to he wants to get relief from his anxieties and fears. So he'll get lot of restlessness and he will constantly move here and there, sitting from one place to other place, changing position to get support and reassurance. So they want support, they want reassurance, and they want to ameliorate their anxiety and fears. Phosphorus is a polite remedy and they will plead to a homeopathic doctor for help. प्लीज डॉक्टर साहब आप देख लो इतना. लेकिन आर्सेनिकम एल्बम इज अ वेरी डिमांडिंग person. Okay, he's a very, very demanding person. So that demand is not taken up by homeopath. The homeopath feels a lot of pressure and weight of an arsenic album personality because he is very, very demanding in his treatment. Okay, and that person is always clinging to the doctor. But Phosphorus is very polite and he will politely ask for help. Arsenicum album, very demanding. Okay. Now, the anxieties and fears ultimately makes Arsenicum album patient very, very restless. Okay. And because of this restlessness, he will exaggerate many symptoms which are not even present also. He will exaggerate many symptoms and he will blow out of proportion all his illnesses. Okay. And ultimately he will travel to many doctors to get a satisfactory answer, to confirm his fears. Okay, even if all the reports are normal in an arsenicum album patient, if all the reports are normal, even he is not consolable. Okay, he has not much of fear of diseases. The fear of disease is not much, but he has more fear of death. Okay. So anxiety is not consolable in Arsenicum album. Even if all the reports are normal, he is not consolable at all. Okay. Now calcarea, if we compare with calcarea carb has also anxiety about health. Okay, they have anxiety about health. They fear the diseases. They fear the insanity. What I mentioned before, Arsenicum album has fear of death rather than the disease. But calcarea carb has fear of infectious disease, fear of insanity. Calcarea can accept death. He can accept death. Calcarea carb personality can accept death, but he fears of being incurable and not able to recover. So that is the difference in arsenic and calcarea anxiety. So calcarea has also anxiety. They have fear of infectious diseases, but they accept death. Okay, he fears of being unable to recover or have incurable disease. So this is the fear of calcarea carb. Kali carb anxiety is anxiety of disease in future, but arsenic fears he has the disease now. Okay, so Kali carb has the anxiety of the disease in future, but Arsenicum album has anxiety and fear of the disease which he has now present. Now, phosphorus in anxiety has a consolable anxiety. Okay, so one, you reassure a phosphorus patient that नहीं ठीक हो जाएगा सब, आपको कुछ नहीं है ज़्यादा. So he will get reassured. Yes, the doctor is saying right, but and he will believe also. Phosphorus patient will believe also that nothing is wrong with him. He is relieved. But arsenicum album, nitric acid, Kali Ars remedy are inconsolable. They are inconsolable. आप जितना भी उन लोग को कंसोल करो regarding their disease, they are not consolable. Nitric acid, if you take, nitric acid has anxiety about the health, but they have fear not of death, but nitric acid has fear of degenerative disease, or they have fear of money, expenses, बहुत खर्चा हो जाएगा treatment में, dependency on others, they will get dependent on others. Arsenic want company, they want to get dependent on others, but nitric acid fear of getting dependent on others. Okay, they fear of immobility, what I'll do if I'm not able to move around. Okay, and arsenic has fear of death. Lycopodium has also anxiety of health, a lot of anxiety of health, and this anxiety is because of its coward nature. Very, very coward remedy, lycopodium. They have no fear of death. The fear of death is not there, but they have fear of pain and torture of illness. So they have that fear of pain and torture of illness. And this will also reveal in lack of courage to others. Okay. Phosphorus is very, very sympathetic for the suffering of others, but arsenicum album is very, very selfish remedy. What will happen to me if I lose that person? मेरा क्या होगा अगर if anything happens to the opposite person? So that is the selfish nature and selfish thought process of arsenicum album, because they want someone for their security and for their support and dependency. So phosphorus, oh, you have a problem, let's find the solution, will be the version of phosphorus. But arsenic, you have a problem, but what about my problem? Okay, so this is the selfish nature of arsenic. Phosphorus, oh, you have a problem, let's find the solution of that problem. Arsenic, you have a problem, but what about my problem? I have also a problem. So this is the selfish trait of arsenicum album. Now sulfur has also anxiety about others. Sulfur, okay, if a father, and if a sulfur father having a daughter, and daughter is coming late to home, so he'll think endlessly what will happen, what is happening. He will think out of proportion to the reality. Reality nahi hai, fir bhi they will think lot of out of proportion. Where arsenicum album has anxiety of losing the daughter. उसको कुछ हो गया तो क्या होगा मेरा, what will happen to me. And phosphorus has sympathetic anxiety, क्या होगा उसको, क्या हुआ है उसको. Okay, so all these things you have to differentiate before giving the remedy, giving the final prescription. Eventually in arsenicum album, all the fears and anxieties are diminished, and ultimately they lead to a state of very, very depression and despair of recovery. So they have a lot of despair of recovery, loss of interest in life. They have a lot of suicidal thoughts. They are very, very suspicious. Okay. and their fear of killing people whom he depend. Then there is aversion to company. Arsenicum album can go into aversion to company. They can become very, very obstinate. Okay. And later on, the patient can go into a stage of insanity. Okay. Now, when you see a person in that insanity stage, it would be very difficult to prescribe arsenicum album because we have not seen first impression as insanity. Okay, but that's why you have to evolve, see the evolution of the remedy, how the remedy has reached up to that insanity level, that you have to see. So you get confused with nux vomica. So this is the complete evolution of arsenicum album. There are physical symptoms. Then the physical symptoms develops into a lot of anxiety, insecurities. Insecurities goes into fear of death. Then there is despair of recovery, loss of interest in life, suicidal thoughts, and then the delusion states occur. A lot of delusion seen in arsenicum album. So when you prescribe this remedy, in the later stages like delusion stage, and your potency, your selection of remedy is very, very accurate, then all these things becomes reverse. So person delusion stage goes, and then the person anxieties and fears come up. So in reverse order of appearance of symptoms occurs, and finally patient develops the physical general symptoms. Okay, so this is the complete reverse order when you give arsenicum album as a remedy. So this was just my attempt to teach you the inner patterns and inner traits of arsenicum album, how the remedy is evolved. Do subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video if you like, and please write your comments in the chat box. Thank you so much everyone for listening. Thank you.